Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Third Shift. This is episode 163. Yes, I did have to look down at my notes to know, even though I knew already because I did the 161 and it's been 2 weeks. But hey, man's got to double check. You got to be safe. I'm not going to make that joke. I'm not going to make the joke.
You should have made the joke. You got to follow through. You know what I'm saying? You got to push. You got to give the thrust. You got to give the full pull through. Terrible. It's also terrible.
That's bad. This is
that's how you
not
start.
The way to start.
That is how you cruise into an episode of Third Shift. Oh God, it hurts. Oh, feel good.
This is not the way to start the episode right before we have a special guest on the next week, because the special guest will be like, "Oh, what are they talking about on Third Shift? Being safe and thrusting and pumping."
That's
I don't
not
know
good.
about this show.
I'm feeling sick to my tummy.
So welcome, everybody, to Third Shift. This is episode 163. I'm your host, the greatest man who's ever lived. It's me, Matt. With me, as always, it's the light bearer, Eric. He's over there ready to tell you some good stories about his week, especially because it was a quarter-end week. He's going to tell you how happy he was and what a great time it was. Do it, Eric. Hit it up. Tell the people.
No, I'm not going to do it. You know what else I'm going to do is I'm going to say I had to switch my life around. I did night shifts. So it's just like a new experience for me. I was like, oh, wow, this is going to be so crazy. I'm working all night and sleeping all day. Hey, guess what? For someone who's done day shifts for a long time now, it wasn't that fun. It wasn't that great.
No.
Kind of really screwed everything up and made me miserable. But I finally got to see the ghosts, so that was fun.
Oh, nice.
There's some ghosts in our workplace, and some people see them, some people don't, and I'm open to that thing, so I tend to see them. And sure enough, a little old ghost. It was kind of like a black blurb, and he just would scoot around really fast all over. It was always out of the corner of your eye, just like a. And that's all he did it all night long. And I always say he. This one I couldn't identify. I don't know if it was a he, she, or what, but. It was there. It was fun. It was neat. That was the only good point of doing Third Shift, was that I got to experience the ghost. And it was an experience. Let's just put it that way. And it took a few days. In fact, I'm still kind of not back to normal. I find myself waking up quite a few times in the middle of the night. Yeah. Still, even as of last night. So that kind of stinks. But I'll be back to it here soon. And of course, as you can imagine, being the quarter-end week, I didn't do much of anything. I did a little bit of video gaming, playing Borderlands 3. Surprise, everybody. How did you think that was going to be a thing? And then Destiny 2 Shadowkeep. Surprise, everybody, like you didn't know that was coming. And that's it. I didn't see any movies. I haven't seen anything. I haven't gone out and done anything fun. We're going on a camping trip this weekend. Last one of the year. So unfortunately, I won't be able to regale you with any more wonderful stories. So I'll tell you about it next week. But this week, that's it. Very short and sweet, and ghosts. Matt, what about you? Ghosts.
I have even less to say. I don't see ghosts, and it was just quarter-end week, and I didn't do anything. I did nothing. My one day off.
You did absolutely nothing.
My one day off I went. This is me staring off into space for those of you on the audio version.
Yes, for the listening.
Because there's no video version except for
there
right
is
now.
no video version.
Put in, Danny, you should edit in the sound of flies buzzing above a corpse. That'd be perfect.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure that you could find that pretty easy. YouTube's got to have that, flies over corpse.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I didn't do anything fun. No movies. You know me, I'm always at the theater or the movies or off doing the things. I didn't do anything. I did nothing. I did do Borderlands 3 Inktober. Been keeping up on that pretty well. But I find the secret is just do it a day ahead of time, and then you're always ready. Compose the tweet, save it in your drafts, and then feel ashamed when you look at your art and you go, God, that's really just wretched. But I started, so I got to finish, so here we go. Click, post. The latest one, I didn't even have the guts to retweet from the show account, because it's just awful. But what can you do? I do find, though, that with stuff mechanical stuff, like the Maliwan Heavy that I did, when it got, Troy, he looks kind of broken and junky, but when it got to the arm, I was like, okay, I can do this. I can get the mechanical details in there. So I'm learning about myself. Like, I like to draw machines and physical objects and not soft human squishy skin objects.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. I like to just draw nothing, Matt,
Yeah.
because I can't draw anything. So
Well, clearly neither
terrible.
can I, but the fun is to just do it anyway, because who cares, and it takes 10 minutes.
that's true. There's truth in that. But I'll tell you what, maybe, like I said to you earlier off air, maybe I'll have a spooktacular surprise before the end of the month to at least let the people see one more masterful piece of art from Eric B.
And hey,
Is that like Dr. Seuss?
that's not bad. I like it. But other than that, I think the only thing I've done is play Borderlands 3. Oh, and I've been binge watching best of the worst episodes from Red Letter Media. That's the one fun thing I've been doing. Watching people sit around and watch bad movies and then have a panel talking about them. It makes me happy, and it makes me wish I had friends that I watched bad movies with so we could talk about bad, awful movies. But other than that, absolutely nothing. So that was us individually this week doing not a whole lot. Together as a team this week, we did even less because we didn't have an IG2G, because that's coming up next week on Tuesday. It'll be episode 64. It was quarter end week, so I have no idea what came out, but gosh and golly, I'm going to find a bunch of things and we're going to talk about something.
That's right. I can tell you right now there's a few cool games, so you will not be disappointed, Mr. Matt. It's going to be infinitely fun. Okay? Infinitely.
And speaking of infinite fun, we're going to ramp up the podcast with positive energy and good times, because this intro has been really sad and really awful and really boring, but what is not any of those things. And what is actually a little bit weird is shift codes for Golden Keys in Borderlands. Can you guess? You can't, because it's a Game of the Year edition.
Oh.
You would never have guessed. I barely ever say that on the show, but that was their weekly shift code giveaway tweet. I was writing in my notes, and I was like, oh, it must be time for Borderlands 2. But nope, it was Game of the Year edition. And today, right now, tonight, as we're recording this, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 hours ago, Randy Pitchford tweeted out a shift code for one golden key in Borderlands 3, and by gods and golly, people, I think this shift code expires in 20 hours. So by the time you're hearing this, you might still have time to actually redeem it. Can you believe it? It's a Festivus miracle, everybody.
It really is, because traditionally these things last for 6 hours, if that.
Max.
And then max, and then they're gone. So here it is. You got a whole flipping day to get a hold of this code. What a generous, fine sir that Randy Pitchford is. Look at that. Oh, man. He's doing God's work out there.
He definitely is, because nothing beats using that golden key, opening up that chest, getting loot just shown in your face, shining all purple and maybe orange on your face. But the last time since I was at max level, I opened one and I already had better stuff. So don't be like me. Use it on your characters that you're still building up and you want to get good stuff for them and be very excited. You do that.
Oh, no, man. No. You can also do it at max level. You just got unlucky. I opened it up and got some legendaries that were actually good. It was like bling, 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 bling.
I don't like this new paradigm. I think I think what happened was they got the streams crossed. They went, oh, third shift. Which one of those idiots is it? Is it the guy who says he's the greatest man ever? Probably him. He thinks
probably the ego.
He thinks he's hot stuff.
One.
Let's turn his stuff down. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Come on. It's Eric. You're supposed to have it down to 0 for.
I'm the secret bad guy. But not really. I'm really a nice guy. He is the bad one. So thank you, Gearbox. You've done justice this day.
We're both equally bad in different ways. That's true, and you know it.
That's true. Yeah, it's true. It's true. But you know what? Don't nerf me. I am getting good things, and I like it. And you know what? Because I'm getting good things, you know what my brain does? It says, I want another hit. I want another hit. So I come back, and I keep playing. That's what you want, right?
That's true.
You want me to be happy and to keep playing, so just keep giving me the loot. It works. Don't be like me. Get your keys and spend them.
Yeah.
All right? Because I keep hoarding them, and I've got a problem, and I don't know why I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. And it makes no sense. But the few times I have spent one, like as in the other day, and got said legendaries, it was fantastic, and it felt wonderful. So don't be like me. Feel wonderful. Just spend your keys and have fun.
Now, see, I'll say, hey, always spend keys in moderation. I'll be the flavor text at the bottom of a Bud Light commercial and say,
oh, perfect.
Say that's the perfect thing to do, because I always wait 5 to 10 levels. you're starting to find guns that are a little better than what you last got out of the chest. Maybe your favorite piece is about to go away, and then you open it up and boom, shing a shing a shing. Now your favorite piece is now laying in front of you, just waiting to be picked up. Your new favorite piece is there. So hoard them a little bit, but spend them at a nice even pace. That's my advice.
And if you're pregnant, see a physician.
If you're pregnant or maybe cut pregnant.
See,
this is where Danny cuts in the psoriatic arthritis disclaimer from those commercials.
Yeah, that'd be the best.
Tell your doctor if you have any existing medical conditions or are pregnant, planning to become pregnant, or breastfeeding. Side effects may include drowsiness, tiredness, feeling dizziness, anxious or agitated, indigestion, nausea, diarrhea, loss of appetite, sweating, tremors or shaking, or insomnia.
Oh man. But another thing that's awesome that you should not spend in moderation, because who cares? There's more stuff coming out all the time, is VIP codes. Go on that VIP site, the Shift VIP site, put in those codes, get yourself some awesome rewards. We had at least 2 over the past week, brought to us, of course, by the Third Shift Me official VIP reporter at 10K Beers, our buddy Sean Haggerty on Twitter. We appreciate your work, and I'm going to say, I appreciate that you're not putting Tannis in those announcement tweets anymore. I like it, and I like that you listen to me and you listen to my concerns about too much Tannis. That's the hashtag, too much Tannis. I'm going to start spreading that on Twitter.
Really is.
And then hashtag no more Tannis. Hashtag Tannis is gone. Hashtag cancel Tannis. Cancel Tannis party. Cancel Tannis party. Let's get that trended on Twitter, everybody.
And before we slip off of Tannis here, I just want to say I do prefer her look as a spoiler alert.
No,
spoiler
don't do
alert,
it. No,
spoiler
don't do it.
Fine. Jeez, oh, Peach. At some point we gotta be able to talk about this game. I do like Tannis's new look for sure. I think it's better than the old look, but we still need to get rid of Tannis. That is a definitive yes, please.
I think her best look will have like a headstone and like a bunch of ground. That's my favorite.
I think I
look.
drew a picture of that before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I'm ahead of my time. You know what I mean? What can I say? I'm a prophet.
So another cool thing that did happen just recently this week, we got a trailer for free DLC coming to Trover Saves the Universe, the wacky Scott Roiland. Is it Scott Roiland? Yeah, it's Scott Roiland. The wacky Scott Roiland game. The guy who does Rick and Morty. If you've been watching the trailers, if you're interested in the game, you probably have it, so you're now getting free DLC. I won't spoil anything in the little teaser trailer announcement thing, but I will say the ending made me laugh really, really hard. And I'm not, I'm kind of an on and off Scott Roiland humor guy, so I'm just gonna say it made me laugh real hard. So it's good. It's good. You should watch it. It's a
universal laugh.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a laugh, regardless if you ever play the game or check out this DLC. Go check out the trailer because it's funny.
Yeah, exactly.
And who knows? Maybe by doing that, it'll sell you. And then you're going to go purchase a copy. And then you can say, it's because of Third Shift I bought this copy. And then they're going to be like, oh, here's some kickback, Third Shift. Bam!
That's right. Use promo code at Third Shift checkout for 0% off your order. And possibly free shipping if your shipper offers it to you for free anyway.
Yes. We're not held responsible for anything. Period.
Just start putting Third Shift Me in your promo codes for everything. Maybe it'll pop somewhere. I don't know. They'll say
somewhere we're gonna get a freaking email or something from that Colorado University again.
Yeah, heck yeah!
It's gonna be great. I can't wait.
Just put it in sadpodcast.com and just give us a kickback. Oh, man, but we're not sad because we got good news coming up. We're going to talk about that at the end of the episode. That's called a hook, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you get them to listen and stay.
So while you're waiting for that awesome news and fun little conversation we've got, we're going to go ahead and let you know it was another patch. Oh, my gosh. Borderlands 3 has another patch. Woo! All you got to do, of course, is log into Borderlands 3, wait on the the opening screen there for a little bit, and it'll automatically do it. And if you don't do that and you go straight into your game, guess what? It's going to ask you next time you push the pause menu or whatever, and it's going to say, hey, would you like to go back out to the main menu and establish these patch fixes, hot fixes
or patches,
whatever,
yeah, something like that.
whatever they want to call it. And then you say yes, and you go get it. Very easy to do, not an issue. Make sure you do it, because there's all sorts of cool stuff in there that we're not going to tell you about, because we don't want to tell you all the little things that happened. I do want to mention 1.5, Matt.
I was going to say, I got 1.5 things.
Okay, good. All right. See, Matt's on board with me today, everybody. It is just a beautiful day because we get to actually mention a couple. The one I did want to make
He's
sure
looking to the right. No, it's over. It's over.
I'm not reading it. Stop it. Oh, my God.
I saw your eyeballs go.
I just clicked. Gosh bless. It's a reflex. It's a reflex. They increased the drop rate of pain and tear.
Yep.
And that was important to me because I've killed him, and I killed him again, and they dropped nothing. And I'm like, man, this is a really big boss. And the lead up to said boss was this huge old, running around, driving the vehicle, going nuts. I was thinking this was one of those for sure I'm getting a legendary type deals.
Exactly.
And I got nothing. Of course, but the purple, whatever it was, that drops off of...
the artifact. Yeah.
So I was happy to hear this because that is a boss. That's a boss. There's no way that's not a boss. Why would it not drop... or have a chance to at least drop the same kind of loot that the other bosses do?
Well, I'm sure it had a chance, but not the chance that everybody wanted. And I mean, I had the same experience. They were both sitting there. It's like, oh, hey, finish them off. So I set the dog in. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's going to go, pew, rain loot. I got a couple, like 2 blues and a bunch of greens and some whites. And I went, oh, all right. And especially because you can't loot those 2 without beating a big boss. So if you up the drop rates for all 3, which is what they did, it's just going to feel even better when you go through that big boss, doing the fun mechanics for the boss. Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah, all around fantastic, because nothing's worse than facing off against a huge enemy like that and then the anticlimactic ending of just getting some greens and blues, and you're like, okay, I guess. No, not anymore, folks. You got a great chance at getting legendaries, so get in there and kill pain and tear over and over and over again.
Oh, yeah. And then the other one that I got, that was my half one. The other one that I do have is, and this is something we saw, and I'll get into that in a second, but they upped Amara's phase grasp range. Like, you can actually do it from to enemies that are further away. But what I think is a little bit more important is, if you miss your phase grasp, the cooldown is instantly reset, so you can do it again, which is always good for those instant cast action skills. I don't remember which character it was, but I had one of them. It was either in 2 or pre-sequel, obviously, but it was like, oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do that action skill, and whatever it was, shot out and missed, and then it was a 45-second cooldown, and I went, well, that's great. Just sucks. I can't remember who it was or what it was, but it had a reduced cooldown with a miss, but it wasn't an instant cooldown. It was like halfway.
I was gonna say, I remember in 2 or something. Now you got me wondering too. I was playing. Must have been 2. I was playing Siren, and so it must have been 2 playing as Maya.
I think it probably was Maya. Yeah.
Yeah, hers was a reduced cooldown. It was like a super fast cooldown, but it was still like a cooldown if you missed. It would do like a and you'd get it back, but you still had to wait a minute. And then by then, of course, in Borderlands, the enemies are running all over hell, going nuts. Usually a badass psycho, so he's in your face already, going crazy.
Yep.
So it's kind of a pain in the butt to have it instantaneous. That's awesome. Just so it's like, oh, I missed. Oh well, pop, 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 pop. Get it back off.
Yep.
Keep going, keep going. But I'm also glad they increased the range of it though as well, because I intend to go Amara and use that exact ability. So I'm like, well, I want to be able to be useful, and if I see somebody use it, basically if I see somebody use the ability, not go, oh, hang on, run. Okay,
plink,
here
plink,
we go.
Plink,
yeah,
plink.
exactly.
I tried to do it. Come res me.
I tried to do it. Come get me, and I'll get it. I'll get him up in the next hit here. Yeah, that's no fun. Nobody likes that. You want the Siren to be powerful and easy to use. Perfect. I like it, Mr. Matt. And the half one I had was Mo's infinite grenade glitch thing that's going on right now. The big shtick where everybody's, utilizing the different skill sets and whatnot to get the infinite grenades. They've went ahead and they tried to do some fixes last week with it. They went and reverted those, and now they're going to try something else, and there's a patch coming up when they're going to fix it all. It's a whole bunch of craziness that makes almost no sense to me. But just so you know, the infinite grenade thing going on with Moe's is a known thing, and they're going to be fixing it, so stand by. If you want to use it right now and do it, you only got a little bit of time left.
And speaking of fixes and future things, that ties in nicely to the co-op couch stream that they did today as we're recording this, just a couple hours ago. Elisa was there, of course, as always, the host of the show. She had Grant Ko there with her, and they talked a lot about patch notes and, upcoming fixes and things they might try to do and things they're thinking about doing and ways they're trying to change the characters. The one piece I pulled out that I thought was the most interesting on the stream was somebody asked specifically, we know Grant from Battleborn, which was a PvE/PvP game. So when they talked about character balance, it was more directly PvP based. So when he kept saying, balance changes and balance tweaks, someone asked in the chat, what does that mean for a PvE game? And he said it was, more based around builds. Like if going Incendiary Moe's is the only way to go, or Fadeaway Flak is the only way to, the quote finger's only way to build, and they see everybody going that way, well, they're going to, maybe not do some nerfs, but some tweaks to that build, some buffs to the other builds, and it's good times all around. And I like that way of doing it, where you're looking at the metrics of what people are doing, and if nobody's going down left-hand skill tree, well, fix it up a little bit, make it enticing for everybody.
And I like the way they're going about it. There's been some nerfs, but at the same time, instead of just nerfing the one that's being used to the ground, they're buffing up, they're bringing up the other specs for people to use. Yeah. And I think that's always the way to go in any game, whether it be an MMO like World of Warcraft, whether it be Destiny, I don't care. Bring up everybody else. Don't bring down anybody else, because that just makes the experience way more fun for everybody involved, because those that did enjoy playing like Incendiary Modes or Infinite Grenade Modes can keep on playing and having a great time. Obviously, the Infinite Grenade one's a little over too much, but you know what I mean.
Right.
They can keep playing that, and they're still powerful, and they're still loving it and having fun. But now the other builds are as powerful, and then people can venture out and try those and have a great time with them instead. So I like what they're talking about. I like that they're paying attention to the balance, and that they're going to be always tweaking it and messing with it until everybody's kind of on an even playing level. And then, of course, at some point, who knows, speculation land, they'll add in more. This is, everybody's speculating, of course, since they said they're not going to do more characters, that they're going to add more abilities to those trees and maybe even new trees. That'll be awesome. It just good.
I feel like that's a little bit too pie in the sky, but I do want to say, I love that I make my own builds, basically. I don't go down like the one tree everybody does. So it feels good to be like, oh man, Flax skills that I don't ever use, they're getting nerfed, they're getting changed. Oh, well, me and my dog are still hanging out here, living forever, and just having a great time. But I do want to say, too, Grant pointed out on the stream, he was like, hey, I love seeing all the builds that people are coming up with. Whether it's a streamer who has 10 million viewers saying, hey, this is the best way to do it, or if it's a video with only 20 viewers of some guy who came up with some cool build and he's just showing it off. So, hey, I want to recommend Grant Ko. Check out Third Shift, episode 162. You got 3 of the best builds in the business right here on the show. Boom, we're the best. Check us out. We're awesome.
Oh, I'm sure they've already seen, that's how it's done. That's how it's done. No, they haven't. I don't know if they've seen Matt, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they're going to very soon.
That's right.
But I was interested in the part where they was mentioning about the legendaries and how when they're in the board meetings and they're doing their little ring arounds and everyone's pitching out ideas and someone strikes on like a really cool idea for a legendary or a unique item or whatever it is, that they kind of get to take the lead on it. So they get to do the abilities, what it does, of course, have input on what the stats are, and then create the red text for it. I just thought that was really cool that if you are lucky enough to have an idea that gets everybody else riled up and excited, that they give you the reins and let you kind of fly with it, and then you get the props, the naming, all the nomenclatures involved with that. So at the end of it all, even if you're some background individual, and that's not your forte, if you had that idea and you got that, forevermore, there will be something in the game that you can point at and go, That's mine. Sweet. Instead of just, I did the code in the background here, but no one knows or no one cares because obviously they're just looking at the game and playing it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, and it just shows what a wonderful fantasy mystical wonderland that everybody works at there in Gearbox. Because maybe go, man, if I had a great idea at work, not necessarily specifically my idea, but any corporation that I've ever worked with, if I had a great idea, they'd go, all right, cool, great idea, Matt, and then whoever's next up would take the credit for it, and they'd pass it up, and the next person up would take the credit, and they'd go, hey, I, the CEO, had this awesome idea to save us money. But instead here, hey, you had a cool idea for a weapon. Let's do it. Make it work. Get in your flavor text. Let's make it happen. And I'm sure everybody touches it and massages it. Mm-hmm. But to know that if you got that good idea, you get to do all the cool stuff. That's just awesome, man. Wow. What a world. What a world, Eric.
I can't even imagine. And that's why it struck me was because of that very reason. I'm like, I've had good ideas, but my good ideas, when I say them, they just go, oh, that's great, Eric. And then nothing ever happens. It's a dead idea. It's a dead idea upon speaking it. So it's dead at birth. And I'm like, man, a company or a place where your ideas can grow and turn into something, that's weird.
And just to think about sitting in a room full of creative people and everyone just throwing out cool ideas. And man, that's my favorite part of this show. You say an idea, it sparks something in my brain. You
go back and forth.
Man, if that was like a meeting and a job to do, holy smokes, wow.
It'd be the best. Every day'd be the best day.
That's
instead
right.
of the worst day, like The Office,
But, speaking of custom legendaries, Grant said, hey, somebody is using my gun in this game. I think it was Elisa. It might have been him. But it was one of the two Sirens that were playing. They had the Grant gun. So if you're interested in finding out what gun is all about Grant and all that stuff, check out the replay of the stream. I couldn't catch it because it was on my phone, and I was also trying to prepare show notes and things. So I was like, oh, what is it? And I held my eyeball up real close to the screen, and I went, that's not possible.
Couldn't see. Yeah, understandable. It's all right. Besides, that gives people, once again, a hook to go check it out because the stream was chill. It was a lot of fun, a lot of good info. They were playing and having a good time together. What's not to like about that? Pop that up on your side screen there. Start playing more Borderlands 3. Get you some knowledge. Do it.
Yeah.
Don't be a daisy dude.
And I'll say, too, the stream was... you still had some people in the chat who were going, oh, man, what about this? What about this? But I feel like this one had a lot more questions, a lot more back and forth, and it was a really fun time. So I hope they bring Grant on some more because he was a really good guest.
It's always a good time at the Co-op Couch. Go check it out. But you know what? It's the meat and potatoes time, Mr. Matt.
That's right.
This week was a brand new week, a glorious new week. Boss loot, that's gone. What is that? I don't even remember. It's a week in the past.
Ooh, I got a story for that one. I was going to talk about it before with the patch notes because you said updating your game.
Mm-hmm.
I found out a sweet-ass workaround because I didn't even mean to do it, but the changeover from, Legendary Lootpocalypse, essentially, to Rare Spawn Week happened right at the time when my PS4 also had an update. So I logged on and I was like, oh man, I'm just going to play some Borderlands 3. And it went, boop, boop, system update. And I went, well, thank goodness I can just still play Borderlands 3. So I popped in there and was running around, and it was one of those moments where I was running around trying to find secrets and trying to, get all the Iridian tags and stuff, and fell into a boss room. And I went, oh, well, I'll fight this boss. Oh, whatever. Boo, easy win just because it's me and Mr. Beef. And I hear ping, and I see a star with a circle on it on my map, and I go,
what?
Legendary. And I ate it up, and I went, hee, I'm so happy. And then I went and found like a mini boss later on as I was browsing around somewhere else. Killed it, easy fight, ping, legendary. What? Oh, I get it now. Lootpocalypse never ended because my PS4 could not connect to the internet because of the system update, so it couldn't update my software. So if I wanted to, Lootpocalypse could still be going on for me. I could still be like rolling in Legendaries Jones. But then I updated the system and it automatically did the patch, and now it's gone.
And you can still update, Matt, okay? You can still update. You don't have to just be sad. Because just because Lootpocalypse is over for bosses, it's Rare Spawn Lootpocalypse.
I know, but I'm just saying as a pro tip for anybody, if you really want to just have your one event happen forever, just oops, I unplugged the router this week. Shucks and golly.
Yep. Now I just have to play this for the rest of my life and get infinite drops on the bosses.
Uh-huh.
That's actually not. Don't do that at home, children. Play fair.
Don't try this at home. This is another disclaimer from your friends at Third Shift.
I was just thinking because I'm going camping and I don't have internet. So when I'm up there playing offline, the Lootpocalypse will be there for me, but it's the rare spawn one.
No, you already updated to rare spawn, so...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The rare spawn will stick around, even if it was changing at that point. But it's not changing.
Right.
So.
But it's not changing. It changes like on a Tuesday.
I know. I'm just saying, theoretically speaking, I could do it unintentionally.
Yes.
So I wouldn't cheat. If I ever did it, it'd be unintentional.
Oops. Yeah. We went camping in the middle of the week.
Oh, shucks. We went from Tuesday to the next Tuesday camping. How did I figure that out? Impossible.
Let me inspect Eric's character. Oh, all legendaries and all legendaries in his backpack. Oh, gee, I wonder how that happened.
What'd you do? Mm-hmm. Now, I'll say I'm actually having more fun with this one than I did with the other one because in the other one, last week's, I was going through True Vault Hunter mode. I was kind of focused on that. I didn't really want to stop, turn around, and go back to normal and get put on Mayhem and then go beat bosses. Well, this time around, though, I did. I was like, all right, Eric, pause True Vault Hunter mode. Go back to normal, put on some Mayhem, and go farm these guys. And the reason I say this is because, if you don't know, this is a rare spawn loot week, which means that the rare spawns that they have listed on their webpage over there, so go check it out, they have a 100% chance to come out and be there whenever you show up, which is fantastic, because that's not the case normally. So normally you're going to run all the way to the location, and some of these people, or I should say some of these baddies, are in some extremely stupidly long locations. If you want to farm max a trillion, just forget about it. Oh, that was the worst.
I mean, same with Rackman. I did Rackman first, and I went, oh, it's just on the map. And I went, oh yeah, you have to go all the way through the carnivore stuff to get to the open area to go get him. I went, oh, I'm not doing that again. I'll do it once more. But other than that, it's...
Well, remember though, Matt, once you get there and you just go push your start button, quit, load back in, it loads you at the save point right at the carnivore, right before Rackman.
It loads you with the new you. You just got to get the car.
So if you want to farm him, once you've done the stupid trek to get to him, just quit, come back in, and it's going to load you basically right outside the door.
I mean, with that big initial load in, it's probably just about as
Nah, it's much faster. It's much faster. It is.
I'm just trying to get it so I don't have to farm
it all. Well, if you don't want to, don't. But I'm telling you, you're not going to want to miss out on that gun he has.
I know.
And I'll let you talk about it in a minute, but I'll just finish this statement of saying the listed ones are there 100% of the time. They don't have a 100% chance of dropping the loot. But of course, as we just stated, you just quit, come back in. You're going to be at the nearest, new U station, and then you just run back in, keep doing it, rinse and repeat until you get that said legendary, and then move on to the next one. And the coolest part about this is since they have a 100% chance to be there, you get to actually go see all these really cool rare spawns that you might have missed. And that was the best part, is because some of these I had no idea existed. I missed them completely. They weren't there or whatever it was, and I just went on through the game without even knowing they were there. So it was nice to see all of them this time around as I went through each and every one of them.
Now, I will say, it was nice to see them all, but my problem is I didn't see them all the time. You keep saying 100% chance to spawn. I think somebody turned down a dial on Matt's console, because some of them, yes, every time I went, they'd pop out. But the El Dragon Jr., he was a little shy sometimes. He came out about half the time I went there. Other times I would run over there, and I'd look at the waterfall, and I'd go, where you at, buddy? And I'd walk up to the waterfall. Maybe I got to, proc him out, by sticking, my meaty face in there. Was that, hello?
No, you don't got to do that.
He didn't show. Same thing with the Indo Tyrant. First time I drove over there, boom, 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 big tyrant running around. Oh, cool, sweet. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Load back out, load back in, or, go to a different planet, come back, drive over to the same place. Nope. Okay. Leave. Go farm some other ones. Come back to that same place, drive over. Nope. 4 times that man didn't spawn for me. Same thing with the Unstoppable. He showed up twice. Back to back, no problems. And then he was gone. I haven't seen him since. What happened? What happened to Uncle Matt's game? 100% chance to spawn. 0% chance to spawn.
But are you quitting the game and coming back in? Or are you just leaving the planet?
I did do that.
Because whenever you quit the game, it's supposed to be guaranteed. I think if you just leave the area and come back, it still acknowledges that rare spawn as dead. So it won't pop back in.
But there were other ones where I did leave, go up to Sanctuary, come back down,
and they were there. See, and that's what's got me confused. But because I just know the one method. You get there, you kill them, you quit, you leave the game, you come back in, and they're always there. So, I don't know. But that's, man. Well, all I can say is without further investigation, I think maybe they went ahead and gave you the Eric dial. You know what I mean?
I'm not supposed to have the Eric dial. You went to the wrong side of third shift. Put it on the other side.
No.
Put it on the other side.
It's fine where it's at. I like it.
No, it's not.
I'm getting all the goodies. I'm getting all the loot, all the drops.
What we got to do is play together, and then they'll know. They'll be like, "Oh, this is the guy who's actually cool and runs around like a normal person,
like a normal person,
not crazy Eric." We got it switched. We got it.
That's not always true, I remember several times where you were the crazy person. All right,
that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
I remember a time when a man just walked off a ledge for 30 minutes. That's what I remember. Don't blame the extra country boy internet on that one. You can't do it. No,
that was called dedication, sir. I was playing that game regardless. All right? I'll have you know. So back on topic. Unfortunately for Matt, he's not getting them 100% time. But hey, that's what they told me. It's 100% of the time. If he's not getting it, and if somebody else isn't getting it, hey, write in and let us know because I'd love to hear. But I could have swore it was 100% of the time.
Because I will say it was the very last bit of that. There was one, I was looking for the Mother of Grogan's, and I went in there a second time, and the gun chest that's in there was open, even though I didn't quit the game, but I came, went to different planets, rolled around trying to find everybody else. Came back, the gun chest was open. I went, oh, surely she will be dead still, registered in the game, and she came popping out happy as could be. So I'm like, what is going on here? I don't understand. So sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't work. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. It's crazy.
That's crazy, man. It's crazy. I'm just saying. For me, it worked 100% of the time. So I'm just, all I can do is what I know. And I'm going to tell you, you were talking about El Dragon Jr., which is a callback to Battleborn, if any of you don't know, which, of course, I'm sure everybody listens to this does know. But anywho's, I want to say, first off, if you want to know how to get to him, go to Jacob's Estate. You take the left-hand path. Once you get there, follow it to, as Matt said earlier, there's a waterfall. He comes popping right on out. No big deal. You can shoot him down. Sometimes there's Anointed there and other baddies, but, most of the time it's just him.
It's right next to the Iridium stamp.
Yes.
The Iridium reader thing.
Exactly. And kill him however many times it takes, and he gets you a really, really, really good mod. All right? And then for my build that I want to do, it's the Incendiary mod. So... let me pull it up here. Let me do this because I do want to read it. I'm going to read it. Oh, I know, Matt. It's Unleash the Dragon.
Choke you.
All right, and it's got 100% melee, slide, and ground incendiary, effect upon doing those said things. And then it also has, of course, a melee damage, and it has an incendiary damage. And actually, the melee damage isn't guaranteed because I didn't get that. I got incendiary damage, and then I got something to shields or something. I can't remember what it is. So that's not 100% on that one. So that can change. I don't know how much of it can change. All I can tell you is that my whole build for Moses is going to be under an incendiary damage. Well, guess what? This boosts incendiary damage, gives you incendiary effects on all your crap, making it a wonderful piece to get a hold of. It is an artifact, in case you were wondering. So make sure you pick it up if you want a really cool incendiary build for whatever character you're trying to put into play.
And hey, I just got to say, El Dragon Jr., this man doesn't show up half the time for me, and then he also has only dropped 2 items ever in like the 5 to 8 times I've killed him, and they've both been a blue.
Yes, that's
this
the
man
downfall.
Drops nothing, like literally nothing.
This is something we can go ahead and mention real quick while we're talking about it. I found through going and killing all these different enemies and rares that some of them drop absolutely nothing unless they
Yeah.
drop that specific legendary. Whilst others, which I guess I was going to let you go back and forth, but this is a perfect segue. My second one I wanted to mention to everybody is the Red Jabber. The Red Jabber, you go to frickin' Eden 6. Oh, and I'm trying to do it off the top of my head. Eden 6, the Amber Mire. And then you take the right-hand path and you go straight up. And then it's going to be across the river on the left-hand side. There's going to be a Jacob's chest and then a hut. And then he's going to come out of that hut and he's going to have all sorts of craziness with him. But anywho, that's not the important part. The important part is him in particular. You kill him, and even if he doesn't drop his legendary, he loot explosions everywhere. So he's dropping purples all over the place, blues, not to mention there's like a thieving jabber that always is there. So you're getting a thieving jabber, there's a couple badasses there, and there's a chance at an iridium chest to be there as well. On top of the Jacob's chest that's always there. It's a loot explosion. You go do the Red Jabber, folks, which, by the way, drops a legendary grenade mod. So I can't tell you which one you'll get, but if you want to farm grenades, that's a good spot to go. And on top of it, I was getting upgraded weapons left and right. Anointed stuff, all the good things. In fact, I sent quite a few of them to friends and whatnot. So it's very, I won't say annoying, but kind of just weird how some of these rare spawns don't drop anything. Yeah. And then some are like just dropping like a boss would almost, just 9-10 items flying all over the place. I wish they would kind of change that around and make it so all of them do the loot explosion, regardless of whether you get the legendary or not.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, obviously, I've had bad luck all day. I tried to, not all day, but all afternoon after work, I tried to farm, and I got a few legendaries that I can talk about. But other than that, it was, here's a handful of greens and a blue. And I did get one really sweet purple. Since we're talking about weapon upgrades left and right, from Princess Tarantella II, I did get her legendary. But then after I picked it up, I looked on the ground and went, man, there's like I think there were two different upgrades. One was the Atlas style gun that I love, that was like 20 damage higher and like 1 gear score higher. And then one was a badass purple incendiary Torg pistol with insane damage. This literally melts people. And it just made me so happy. It made me happier than getting the legendary. I shot the legendary and went, oh, sweet, cool. And then I put the pistol on, because I'm not a big rocket launcher guy. I don't use the rocket launchers a lot. Put that pistol on and went, this is it. This is the best. So I do appreciate the bosses, not bosses, but the rare spawns that do drop at least a little bit more than one item or the legendary. Like, man, Eldragon Jr., I ain't going back to see him again. I don't care.
Come on.
No way.
For old time's sake, you got to get his. I mean, he's Battleborn related. And did you go Did you go get Rackmans? You were mentioning him earlier, saying you were going to him, which once you get there, he's easy to do because he's in the carnivore area and you see the bat symbol, literally the rack symbol, right above you. Just go to it and go in the cave.
Well, I went to him once, and then since I went the whole big trek without thinking about the shortcut, he was the very first one I did too.
Okay.
So it's like, well, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this guy. So no, he dropped just some blues and some greens for me, but I loved that area that he was in though. That was freaking awesome. Like I expected just like a cave, but then to have it set up to be the rat cave and have racks flying around up top too. It was all there. The whole theming was great. It was an awesome battle. It was easy as F because I never die ever. But it was just fun to be in that area fighting I'm Rackman, having a great time. It was good.
Well, make sure you get that pistol, Matt, because I told you about it. And of course, it's a doll pistol. And if you get it, there's only one rule: you can't kill anybody. Great damage, fantastic. Gets them all the way down, easy peasy, no problem. And then you just have to switch over a grenade or something, and then boom, finish the job. But like you said, there's a lot of synergy with what you want. Don't mess it up. Come on.
That's exactly it. I'll say it on air since we talked about it off air. Since my build is all about doing damage, which heals the pet, because I play Flak with the Skag. Anytime I found that like even when I throw out like a TD or reload, or I throw a grenade and it doesn't hit anything, it explodes, and that damage itself heals the pet. So I'm wondering if, even if I'm shooting these bad guys, maybe it doesn't kill them, but maybe it's doing that invisible damage that these, the the non-actual damaging grenade and explosions do. And maybe I can just sit there and just whittle everybody all the way down. Pet's health is all the way up. And then, like I've said, when my action skill's on cooldown, if the pet gets a kill, it chunks that cooldown a lot further down. So I'm just boop, boop, boop. Action skills up. Boom. Giant dog. Dog lives forever. Action skills down. Boop, boop, boop. Dog's up forever. Awesome. This sounds amazing. I hope it works. I'm excited
too.
now that I know the easy way to farm the Rackman. You know I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna at least try it.
Oh yeah, I think it took me 4 tries. So once you get there and you do it, you'll get it. It's no big deal.
It'll probably take me about 47. Way it's going.
That's true. With the way they've turned the dials, you're in for a bad time. Sorry, man. My apologies, good sir. So of course I've mentioned Eldragon, brought up. I'll just reiterate on the Max Trillion. Holy crap. I did not enjoy that one. I'm going to warn you all right now, if you're looking at Max Trillion and you want to go get that shotgun, first off, I didn't like it that much. Maybe that's something I don't know about it. But secondly, I'm going to warn you right now, make sure you have a lot of grenades or something that does splash damage because...
or a dog.
Or a dog or some kind of pet that's going to get behind Max Trillion because Max Trillion's a service robot or some kind of robot that does these little spinning blades in front of them. And then you can't hit them. I was only getting lucky because I pulled out the sniper rifle that I got from Zero, and then I was going in between the blades and shooting him in the head, and then the feet once I blew his head off. And of course, I was grenading him as much as possible, etc., etc. But it was a pain in the butt, and there's no way in heck I was going to farm this one. I just got real lucky and on the very first kill, got the legendary, and got the heck out of Dodge.
Duck.
I know, right? But I'm just going to say right now, if you're going through this list and you get to Max Trillion, make sure you got splash damage available or a pet that can handle business. Otherwise, this one's going to be an annoying one for you, and you may not get him, and then you'll be angry and sad.
Yeah, that was one. He was another one I tried once. I think he was second or third on the list. So after going all the way to Rackman and then going to like Eldragon and him dropping nothing, I went all the way to Max Trillion, and I went, "Jeez, oh Pete's." And he wasn't super annoying because, like I said, I never die, and I had the dog there to bite him in the butt. But he didn't drop anything, and I went, well, I ain't doing that again. So, I mean, obviously, once I get there, now I'll do the save and exit. Hopefully, it'll put me, like, right at the beginning of the ship at the very least.
No, it puts you, like, right up by him. So you'll just literally come around the corner.
Cargo bay. Yeah, okay. Cool,
So if you do want to farm him, that's not... Once you get to him, that's not the problem. You'll spawn right by him again and over, but it's just the annoyance of... If you don't have something that can take them out, then you're going to be angry because you're murdering yourself because it reflects all the bullets back at you.
It's not all of them, though, because the effects... Like, I was shooting at him with a dull corrosive pistol because he's a robot armor. You know how to do it. And so the effect was still stacking on him. And since I was just standing in my rift, it didn't matter how much I hurt myself because he didn't even, like, do any damage.
No.
He just stands there and goes, woo, woo, woo.
And plinks at you once in a while. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not hard, but it was just annoying. Just not fun for me, I don't think. So there you go. Just
so I'd say anybody who's got like a health regen effect, if you pop that somehow, I don't know if there's one in Amara skill tree or Zane, put a barrier up and just shoot him. There you go.
Yeah, that would work. There you go.
Yeah.
So there's ways around it. it. I keep going, man. You got anything specific? I don't want to steal all. I don't want to keep yapping.
Well, you could do the lead-ins, and when I got stuff, I'll jump on.
Okay. Well, I got one more area I want to cover here, and it ties into Road Dog. I went and did Road Dog. I did Borman Yates or whatever it is. Norman Bates.
Borman Nates. Yeah.
There it is. Borman Nates. Yep. And I found this to be extremely annoying. For whatever reason, the ones on Pandora were very irritating to me. I found that the ones on Pandora were jam-packed with baddies, and they were, of course, badass, and it was a lot of the midget with the tank, with the grenades, loot, whatever, I remember what the hell they're called. Loot tank, not link tanks.
Like the aggro tanks?
Yeah, aggro tanks, that's it. Yeah, badass aggro tanks. Throwing grenades like nobody's business, hunting you down the whole time. Not to mention, especially with Road Dog, who would regenerate his health over and over again, as Roadhog does in Overwatch. It was extremely irritating farming this one.
That's one that I did, and I got as legendary, but I loved it because it was chaos all around. I put the rift down. I stood in the rift. I went down a couple times, but
but remember, you can't die. I don't have a healing ability like that. So, for me, it's insanity.
That's why it's so awesome to hear that you hated it. But that was the one I loved because it was just nonstop action, shooting, wild times. Actually, there was one time in one of those farming sessions where 2 of the tank turrets came up and were actually even taking me down in the rift. So having to duck and dodge and dive and kick away and try to kite enemies and flank them. I was like, wow, it's like playing the game again. I don't just get to stand in my rift and just shoot. Oh, it's awesome. I loved it.
It's the opposite for me. I was like, I ain't trying to play the game. I'm trying to farm this guy and get this legendary. I don't care about playing right now. I care about murdering Road Dogg, getting legendary, and moving on to the next one. And instead, I'm running around like a fool, avoiding contact, using the abilities, going nuts, spending way too long in the area trying to get Road Dogg down. It was unacceptable. And then I went, you know what? Let me go do Borman Yates or whatever and do him instead. Went same stinking thing. Enemies everywhere, badasses abound. Everyone's shooting. I got freaking 2 anointeds chasing after me, trying to murder me. Borman himself's freaking running around trying to stab me to death.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is way more work than I need it to be. I wanted to go in and just go, there it is. Brrr, grenade. Legendary. Ping, boom. Moving on to the next one. So,
man, I love the Road Dogg battle. I got his legendary after like the second time. So that was a nice pop for me. Mm-hmm. But I loved that one. I loved the Unstoppable one because it was another big, plus the fact that there's a Goliath in the Road Dogg thing, I think, and then there's definitely one in the Unstoppable, and he's a giant mutated one. So I love those. Just trying to kite those around and having just constant noise and explosions and bam, bam, and gunfire and trying to figure out what. Man, it was great. I felt alive again.
You're ridiculous. Then you'd did you do Thunk and Sloth? Because it's the same thing. You go in there, they're on they are on Pandora, and you go, just badasses everywhere, chaos all over the place. They're both trying to murder you. And that one, I failed. I died like 3 or 4 times. Was like, okay, I'm done. And then I didn't go and actually get the kill on them. But I really want that grenade because I love grenades, and I really want all the grenades I can find in the game, and they drop the piss, I think it's called. I don't even know what its stats effects are, but...
Now, that's one I didn't do, but I got its piss during my regular playthrough.
Okay.
And that grenade is awesome because it's one that it guarantees coats the enemies in radiation damage, and they take, I think mine was 20% more damage from anything else. The one thing it will do, though, it specifically does say it, if there's any other elemental effects already on them, you got any other dots or anything, that will, I think it says, wash those out. So it'll just be the radiation. But I loved it. When it was still within the level range that I was running through, it was awesome. You just run up, piss all over everybody, and then anything you did was just health
big
bars,
damage,
just rocking way down. Yeah, it was good.
So that's when you come in with that Torg or that TDR or Jacobs or whatever, non-elemental, and just bacon. Just go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was a really good one, so you should definitely get it. I was thinking about doing it, but I wanted to get some of these others just because I hadn't seen them before.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I'll farm it. I intend to farm them all, so I mean, that's kind of a bit saying, I guess I'll do it. Yeah, I'm going to get them all because the last thing I'll say is, being that this is the rare spawn loot thing, and it's 100% drop, get them. This is your opportunity. Otherwise, you're going to have to actually farm them and keep coming back over and over and over and over and over, and God knows how long to get it. This is your best chance to get these, unique pieces. Some of them don't drop unique pieces, so those you can technically skip if you don't really want that particular piece. But the ones that have a named item, make an effort to go get it, because even if you don't want it, you can put it on your wall, and you can have them there to show off or screw around with in the future if a build or a tweak happens and it becomes powerful.
Yeah, so 2 things on that. I did get some of the named items. I did get a couple legendaries off of the demo Skaggans. I got a really good shield off of those, nice upgrade. But what was pissing me off about the Indo Tyrant is it says, oh, it's just a random legendary customization. And I was like, man, I want to get some new heads. And that's the one that wouldn't show up for me ever. God damn it, Indo Tyrant. How could you do this to me? I wanted some cool heads, even if it's not for my character, and you let me down. But I will say, who did not let me down was I was going for gotta pick it up again. I was going for the Mother of Grogans. Again, I farmed her twice. And like I said, that second time the box was open, but she popped out anyway. And I was going up there, and there's an area up, as you're going up those stairs, it's like 3 badasses and usually an anointed in there too. And it was another one of those fun battles, and I was like, yeah, killing. I hear ping, and I see a little star with a circle on it on my map. I went, legendary just from a regular. And I went over, and I got the flacker, man. And I want the
flacker.
I don't know if you got it in this game, but that gun made me smile so hard. I laughed aloud when I first shot it. You've seen it, right?
Yes, I've seen it. I'm hunting for it.
Oh, it's freaking ridiculous, man. It's awesome.
That's exactly what I needed to be doing the splash damage, blowing things up, going crazy.
Now, whenever I'm in trouble, I just pull that out and there's no trouble. It's like I won't. We shouldn't spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. But I remember we got the flacker in Borderlands 2.
Borderlands 2,
and I went, okay, this is all right for situational things. No, man. The flacker in Borderlands 3.
It's crazy.
It's the best.
Oh, I'm so mad now. I want it.
It's so good.
Yeah, man. Dang it.
Well, and it fires fast, too. It's so good.
Dang it. Well, see, there you go. Now you get a taste of what it's like to farm a little bit, man, and get them drops like that. And it's like, oh, yeah, I see why this cookie tastes good. I see why it's yummy. I'll get you yet, man. I'll have you farming with me soon enough.
I'll farm with you on like Lootpocalypse or Rare Spawn Hunt.
Which I foresee happening quite a bit. I think this is going to be a thing they do, just like they did with Battleborn all the time. It makes sense. It draws people in, keeps people interested. It's a fun thing. It's no skin off their back. Why not?
I was going to say, like we said, it's so easy. Just go in and flip the switches. I mean, there's more to it behind the scenes, but once you've done it, why not just do it again?
Exactly.
If it's, if you're coming up on like a DLC stretch where there's not a lot coming out, oh, hey, it's Happy Mercenary Week. Here we're doing the specials again.
Mm-hmm. It's a ton of fun. And, of course, we got more to come. Rare Spawn loot this week. I don't remember what it was next week. Is it Iridium next week?
I think it's Show Me the Iridium, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is good because some of those customizations I need to get.
I was going to say, you were talking about the heads and the skins and stuff. Well, there you go.
The ones I have left are like in the 200 range, so I gotta keep rolling that up.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm just pecking them off as much as I can. I always stop for the Iridium, grab it whenever I see it, trying to get all that done. I'm sure I don't know if there's a trophy for it. I did the 15 one already. I don't know if there's anything more, but if there is, I want to make sure I get it.
I was gonna say I think there's the trophy for 10 customization items, and then something for Crazy Earl just himself.
Yeah, I think it was like buy 15 and unique or 15 customization things from Crazy Earl, and that gets you a trophy. I already got that one. So if that one's it, I don't technically need anything else. But okay, well, either way, I want them all. I just want to be able to be like, yeah, I'm done with you, Crazy Earl. I got all your stuff. Get out of here.
And I will say, pro tip for farming Iridium, just even on a basic level right now, I find that since Eldragon Jr. is 15 seconds away from the spawn point where you spawn in at. He also has a big chunk of Iridium next to him and an Iridium chest. So you pop those two, you get at least a little bit of a hit. Because I started off today with like 75, had 220-something by the end of the farming run. So even with just that, on top of all the other ones you find everywhere else, that's a nice little quick Iridium farm spot. If you're looking for him, grab the Iridium too. We'll slowly start stacking up.
There you go. So there you have it, folks. We've talked all over the place about this Rare Spawn Loot Week. You can tell we like it. You can tell we love it. We're having a great time with it. It's the weekend coming up right before you as you're listening to this. So get in there, spend the weekend doing this and having fun with it, because I promise you won't be disappointed.
You especially won't be disappointed if you get a flacker from something. Somewhere, some random badass is going to drop it, and you're going to go, oh, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
If I get it, I want it so bad. Come on.
See, maybe once the level cap goes up and then we're like 60 and it's out leveled because it's a 50 right now, I'll send it to you and then you can at least have it then.
It's rude, Matt. It's just rude. There's no need for you to be rude, okay?
I at least thought of you. When I got it, I went, I see why Eric wants this. And I was like, maybe I should just send it to him. And I went, but it's too good.
But it's so good. It's so good.
I gotta have fun with this.
Yeah, exactly. It's too dang good, man. I get it. I respect the game. It's all right. When it drops for me, it's going to be a special moment, you know?
Exactly.
Just like the Galahorn was back in Destiny 1. Just that magic moment. I don't
even know. I don't
Doesn't
get
matter.
The reference.
Everybody who knows Destiny knows what I'm talking about. And if they don't, oh well. Doesn't matter.
So I think that pretty much wraps it up for the actual show. And before we go into the closing credits, the closing spiel, we got a piece of announcements here. We got a big announcement. I'm opening up. I got a golden key right here. I'm putting it in the chest. I'm going.
Hey, everybody! Guess what? Unless the world turns against us and all things come to end in ashes, next week we've got Randy Varnell joining us on the show. Oh my goodness. Sound the trumpets. I'm so excited. I can't wait to have him on. We're going to talk all sorts of stuff about Battleborn, about, of course, what he does over at Gearbox, where he's come from, where he came from, blah, 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 blah. Borderlands 3, the build into it, how it is post Borderlands 3, what the future holds, which he won't answer any of those questions, but with strange like, oh, but we're going to ask the questions anyway, because that's what you're supposed to do, right?
That's what you got to do. When you got somebody like that on your show, you can't not ask every single question that you could possibly ask.
Exactly. You have to ask, even though you know you're going to get generic answers on some of it, and then, I don't know, I can't say anything, lols. And then you just smile and you laugh. So guess what? He'll be here next week for you to listen in, tune in, have a great time with us, talking with Randy Varnell. I can't wait. It's going to be great.
I can't wait either. It's the biggest one yet.
Yeah.
I love the way we've gone through all the guests so far. It's just bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and boom. And then I don't know where you go after Randy Varnell. Maybe we'll just have to get Pitchford on himself. Hey, Randy, come on.
Oh, no, man. They're all special in their own way. Come on. It's a great time having all these folks on. I mean, Randy Varnell.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. You know.
No, I'm excited for us. Okay. It's showing the growth of the show.
Yes.
You know, we
I understand,
started off with,
but I just want to spit it into a sad bit, instead of a fun bit.
No, you can't make me sad. I got the Flacker today. Yeah. I got Randy Varnell coming on the show next week. I can't be sad. Nothing can make me sad. It's not possible now here in my house on the podcast. When I go and do other things, that can make me sad, but we don't talk about that.
But this won't.
Randy Varnell is going to be on the show. I don't know. Good luck salvaging this part, Danny. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's going to be a great time. We're excited. I hope you all are excited. We've definitely wanted to get, we want everyone to come on eventually, but of course, It's difficult trying to get a hold of some of these individuals and doing stuff like this. And of course, going back and forth trying to figure out what works, pain in the butt. But you know what? It's happening. Stay tuned. It's happening. Please be excited.
Please look forward to our interview with Randy Varnell. That's coming up again next week, Third Shift episode 164. It's going to be the biggest episode yet. And until that time, if you guys got any comments, any questions, any concerns, any feedback for us, anything you want us to ask Randy, if you got enough time, send it to us via email at info@thirdshift.me. Tweet it at us at ThirdShiftME. Find us on Facebook under Third Shift. And oh man, I don't even know what else. I'm hyped up. I'm excited.
Hey, you know what?
Find us next week when we're talking to Randy Varnell, dude.
That's right. And if you want to find us before then, you can find us over on Patreon. And you know what? Randy ain't cheap. He's demanding lots of money. So maybe go on over there.
You can't say that on there. No.
Okay.
No.
That part's not true, guys. Hey, I'm just playing around. But hey, seriously, head on over to the Patreon if you like what we're doing. We treat it like a tip jar. Throw us $1, $2, $3, $1,000. Any and all things, very much appreciated. Helps keeps the lights on, keeps us motivated, keeps us rocking and rolling. And, of course, if the lights stay on, hey, we might keep getting these really cool interviews and checking out and talking with really cool peeps from the Gearbox community and, of course, Gearbox itself. So, consider it. And if you can't, that's fine too. There's so many other ways to support us. Mailbag questions, the likes, 5-star ratings, Twitch follows, Twitch subscriptions, anything and all things help us as Third Shift stay tootin' and rootin'. You like that? This is backwards.
I did not expect that at all. Oh, yes, we will toot and root on into eternity. But of course, that episode we're talking about, featuring Randy Varnell, is coming up next Friday. So we'll be back in your ear holes on the 18th of October with that very special episode. And you can find that episode on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Podbean, on Spotify, and on YouTube. And as I always say, if you like what we're doing and you'd like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, a review, a comment, a subscription, any kind of good thing on any one of those good services, because it does help us out. And we really do appreciate it.
Indeed we do. I keep saying I see some 5-star reviews. Maybe I got a story for you. Maybe. And you know what? If you don't, you'll never hear it. You will never hear it.
I mean, and with that, since you guys are so disappointed us, there's nothing else to say, but
Don't forget to say it.
don't forget to say it.
Shut up and sit down.
I was so hyped up, and then you guys ruined it. No 5 stars?
No 5
Come on.
stars, you know? Who's it
You know
on?
what? Hey,
it ain't
you
on
know what?
us.
I quit.
Oh, that's it, folks. It's over. I'm soloing the show. Here we go. Tootin' and rootin' down the string. Tootin' and rootin' down the string. Tootin' and rootin' down the string. Down the string. Down the string.